How's it going, guys? CrackedRack here, and today I'm going to be discussing 5 reasons I really hate teenagers on the internet. Now, I hope this video doesn't rub you the wrong way and you think I hate teenagers in real life or am some, teenager-hating freak, because that's not the case. In real life, the teens I, by happenstance, interact with on any given day are very polite and very nice. However, on the internet, this is not the case. Now, you're probably like, why are you interacting with teenagers on the internet? What are you, 24? Because I have to. I'm someone that has multiple careers based on being on the internet basically 24/7. It is basically my job in life to be terminally online. And with social media and remote work basically being my life, I have to interact with at least 2 to 3 minors a day. Those 3 times a day I have to do that make me want to do a backflip off of the Empire State Building. If I had it my way legally, I would literally make it so that you couldn't make a social media profile until the age of at least 18, and in a lot of cases until the age of 21. I genuinely believe the world would be a far better place if this was established, and it's something I will casually fight for all of my life in the hopes that someday regulations like this on the internet become a thing. Kinda like how in the 70s kids could smoke cigarettes, but we kind of figured out that wasn't a very good idea 20 or 30 years later. Now, I know this is an unpopular opinion, so you don't have to dislike the video or anything because you're not showing me anything surprising there. I fully expect many to disagree with me here, and that's fully allowed. Please disagree with me, and even debate with me if you feel I'm wrong here. Anyway, let's cut the turd and get right into the business. Here are 5 reasons I hate teenagers on the internet. Also, I am not a boomer yelling at clouds about how much I hate the current kids of today. I'm only in my 20s, so please do not get all cringed out on me. Number 5, they have way too much power over adults. We live in a world where, unfortunately, 14-year-olds on Reddit who listen to Panic at the Disco and play Fortnite all day can make a statement that has the exact same validity and weight to it that a licensed medical doctor in his 60s has, at least online. Because of the anonymous nature of the internet and the horrible, awful, pervasive algorithms that invade our daily lives, when someone asks for serious advice on a place like, say, Reddit, an adult medical professional will have their answer downvoted, whereas the tween girl with a million Reddit karma will have their answer voted to the very top. Their answer usually being the most extreme, unbelievably black and white answer humanly possible. That is based on a topic they have 0 experience in because, shocker, they're children. In the real world, when a child tries to answer for an adult or give advice to them, we laugh at them because they're stupid and they don't know what the hell they're talking about 95% of the time because their entire lives have been under the wing and control and financial support of their parents and or guardian. Yet for some reason, when a child on the internet says something, 90% of the time everyone joins their side and praises their viewpoint and acts as if it's basically the law of the land. Now, I'm gonna guess this is probably because minors make up a majority of the internet because it is still relatively new. Therefore, older people don't really partake nearly as much on places like YouTube. I mean, they do, but let's be honest, almost all of the people commenting are kids. Adults don't comment all over social media, unless they're a social media influencer or they're fucking crazy. I do not believe that everyone should have a voice. That is a stupid and very uneducated way to think, in my opinion. Should the homeless man who is a convicted sex offender who hangs out behind Dunkin' Donuts all day get to have a voice? Should the 12-year-old boy with oppositional defiant disorder who can't even pass a spelling test be allowed to have a voice? No, they shouldn't, and there's a reason they don't in the real world. Number 4. They adopt and perpetuate political causes they literally know nothing about. This is one of the more frustrating things, in my opinion, that teens online do. Now, I'm not saying teens shouldn't have political opinions and passions, that's absurdity. In the real world, they should absolutely be flexing those muscles. But on the internet, you need to understand when they adopt these causes, they are actually legitimately contributing to them in a way that comes into the real world. Which wouldn't be a big deal if they had any clue as to what they were even fucking talking about. Which most of the time, let's be real, they absolutely don't. Whether they're adopting Blue Lives Matter or the other Lives Matter, I'm not even gonna say it. A 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, even 17-year-old sheltered kid who's never even had a job before cannot possibly understand the weight and implications of what they're even supporting and the consequences it could have for people around them. And yet they put this stuff in their Twitter bios and support these causes and get violently angry about them even though they don't even know what it means. Chances are, if they experienced what said political cause was even representing in real life, they mostly would all stop supporting it instantly. For example, a child supporting Blue Lives Matter cannot possibly, unless they have law enforcement family, understand the implications of supporting law enforcement, just as how a child supporting the Other Lives Matter movement couldn't possibly understand the possible propaganda and manipulation behind the cause. We don't even allow minors to not attend school anymore where they learn about multiplication and grammar. Why do we allow them to engage with causes revolving around human nature they couldn't even possibly understand yet? It's frankly sickening. Whenever I see a child adopt a political cause, it revolts me because it shows me that they are being groomed by the opportunists around them to adopt views they don't even understand. This isn't a left or right issue, this is a global general issue that is actually primarily seen in other countries such as the Middle East. But in America, it's very pervasive. And I know what you're thinking. Children should be able to express their political viewpoints openly. Okay, well in that case, I should be able to give medical advice to pregnant women even though I couldn't even name 10 bones in the human body. Does that sound fair to you? Number 3, they consistently in droves invade adult spaces that are not for them and cause trouble. There's nothing worse than being in a space online that you are 1000% positive only contains 18 plus people, only to find half of the people there are faking their age entirely, and a lot of them aren't even old enough to get their own driver's permits. This is actually something that's ruined a few applications for me, including Discord. If you want to see my rant on Discord, links in the description. I used to really love Discord because it gave me a way for years to talk to other like-minded men and women who were down to debate about various things. I could join a large server and with confidence easily find a handful of people willing to talk about things with me. Well, as of the last 2 or so years, this has just been flushed down the fucking shitter. I can't join any server nowadays without 90% of the members being minors who sometimes can hold a conversation but cannot talk about serious topics without absolutely flipping out. They also just put themselves in serious danger. I see so many minors join these adult servers for 18 plus people and put their info out there and get close to random people who are like 10 years older than them. It's just really scary and sad to watch, and if I ever have a child, this will never happen in a million years. They would never have that kind of unbridled access to the internet. Shame on any parents that allow it. Don't have much to say about this one, moving on. Number 2, their insecurities make internet discussion impossible. 5 to about 10 years ago, it was much easier to have a nuanced discussion on the internet anonymously about mature topics, and it was very easy to engage in debates with anonymous people, whether it be on Reddit, 4chan, Skype, you name it. This is because a majority of those using these sites at the time were confident, fully developed people that had a modicum of self-respect, at least to an extremely small degree. Well, unfortunately, sometime after 2016, things started really changing in this regard. More and more teens started flooding the internet, and with this, it's become Insecurity Avenue. I used to be able to, on Reddit, complain anonymously about things like relationship problems, and have casual discussions with other, people like me in similar situations about intimacy and career issues and nuanced adult things. This is borderline impossible to do now, not just on Reddit, but literally any social media application, because teens have dominated these things, and the conversations have all gone to shit. If you discuss any type of relationship issue online anonymously, you will be flooded with really immature messages about how there's no way you have a sexual partner, how they're jealous of you for this, and how they will never have a girlfriend, and how they wish they had a big-boobed goth girlfriend, or whatever they say. If you discuss any career aspirations, even if it's just talking about your lifelong goal of making $60,000 a year at McDonald's, they will find a way to get insecure and jealous about it, and will insinuate you're lying. If you talk about sex in any capacity, in adult spaces meant for adults, mind you, children will somehow seep their way in and act like you're trolling and even get you banned. It's so immature and obnoxious to deal with, to the extent where I don't even really want to be online anymore. It's just not a safe place anymore. Other than to upload videos, I just have little to no interest in it anymore. anymore. They also get insecure about you just like improving yourself and building a career, and they will try to destroy it, even if your career has zero effect on their lives. Which I know adults do this stuff too constantly, but with children it's way worse, and for some reason kids have a gigantic voice on the internet. And my number one issue with kids on the internet, constant drama, molehills turned into mountains over the pettiest stuff. The number one reason I wish teenagers were not allowed to use the internet is the drama they cause for adults that is entirely unwarranted and frankly just inappropriate. Unfortunately, when you have an internet-related career, the security of your entire fucking life is entirely in the hands of teenagers. Doesn't that just sound like a fun time? No? Makes you want to kill yourself? Wow. Couldn't guess why. This is the sole reason I believe teens shouldn't have any fucking access to contributing to social media discussions until 18. I don't know if you realize this, but you have an unbelievable amount of power as even a 6-year-old with a Twitter account with 1 follower. When you give a segment of the population who care more about their makeup and crush's opinion of them than their own parents the power to destroy grown adults' careers, you have a disaster on your hands, the likes of which has never been seen before in this country. I have had stupid little fucking teenagers DM my personal friends, all of them, in my personal life, for years, telling them to stop associating with me because I've made jokes on Twitter that say fucking shit in them and have sexual innuendos hidden in them, and that I like to drink alcohol sometimes so that I'm just a dangerous person to be avoided. It is absolute absurdity, and they have so much power in doing it is the scary part. A small handful of bored little kids could literally destroy a man's life using the powerful tool known as social media. It's so bad right now and so scary. A 50-year-old pop singer could literally just reference having sex with a woman, and they will get destroyed over allegations of being a sexist or misogynist. They will be labeled problematic and excluded from events and treated like shit and probably even assaulted in real life. It used to be you would get this cancel culture if you were being vaguely sexist or vaguely bigoted, but now, you don't even have to discuss that to be labeled as such. Overall, I'm really pushing in my lifetime for there to be some kind of regulation or standard for social media accounts to be 18 plus only. I think it's despicable of social media CEOs to encourage 13-year-olds to join and participate in these extremely inappropriate discussions, which, by the way, is the standard age for nearly all social media, 13, which I find disgusting. Most 13-year-olds can't even use the microwave. Why are they being allowed to participate in discussions about someone being a bigot? Why are they being given a voice in front of millions of people sometimes? I'm not saying all teens online are bad. You have some cool ones who are generally well-rounded, like Talia Joy, who is very badass. She was a very cool YouTuber who unfortunately passed of cancer at age 13. For the most part, though, kids being on social media is a fucking disaster. That's all for today. See ya.